All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday to everybody. I know it sucks that the weekend's over, and those of you that have work have to go back tomorrow on Monday. Unless you're not average and you don't work on Monday through Friday, thank God. Kudos to you. So, as we all know, this is Men's Mental Awareness Month, and Korea takes the lead in depression. Just like any other first world country, you have, especially for men, because we all know that women could get attention from anywhere, and pretty much society is pretty much more forgiving towards women than they are men. But you have grown ass men living at home with mom and dad, or maybe just mom or one parent, whatever the situation is. Not only just dinks, but grown adult age children that aren't doing anything. No kind of studying, no kind of working, not even trying to vlog, just laying around watching TV like it's all good. This clip is from Korea now, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's play the clip real quick.
More than 1 million young South Koreans are neither working, studying, nor training to secure a job. A recent report by the Korea Employment Information Service, KEIS, said. South Korea is now the only OECD member.
See, look at that. So, here in America, we were trained to get up as the sun rises. It looks like a bright, nice, sunshiny day over there in Korea, right? But he's just laying there chilling. You're supposed to be up running outside, exercising, or getting ready for work, putting a suit on, suit and tie, and all that, right? Or something productive. So, I mean, we as humans, we weren't designed to just stay inside all day and not do nothing. I mean, what kind of productivity is that? And being that we have these damn cell phones now, that doesn't make things no easier. Nothing but screen times. We're just surrounded by screens. We have video games, mobile phones, and all that. But this is unsatisfactory. Now see, back in the good old days, or even still till now, when people's children got about 18 after high school, they'd be like, we don't know where you're going, but you're gonna have to get up out of here. Some people kick their children out right when they turn 18. That's why a lot of people end up going to the army, because they had nowhere to go. And pretty much that's not really the expectation no more, but damn.
Among 11 major economies checked, where the proportion of so-called NEETs, though.
And that's what it stands for, not in employment, education, or training. Oh, and this is my favorite question. So what are you going to do with your life? You're asked that question even if you don't want to get married or have kids and you want to focus on your money or just being on your purpose. And with the fact that most people want to be dinks, people assume that you're not going to do anything with your life. Well, if I'm focusing on bettering myself and getting more money, you're asking me what I'm going to do with my life. It's pretty obvious I'm not going to work a 9 to 5 my whole life.
Those not in employment, education, or training has increased since 2014. As of 2024, about 18% of Koreans aged 15 to 29 are NEETs, the third highest among 11 OECD countries checked, while others like Italy, Mexico, and the OECD average witnessed a general decline over the decade. Korea's numbers peaked at 20.9% in 2020 and backtracked only slightly to 18.3% by 2022.
And see, wow, so depressing. Looks like military clothing. But check this out though. It's also at a cultural standpoint too. In countries like Korea, Japan, now for the women, they're expected to work just as hard as the males, on top of bringing new life into the world, meaning having children. So even though people want their daughters and their sons to get married, you still have to somehow squeeze in your career. Like they want you to be on top of your career. Like they just want you to strive to be the best at everything at one time. And it's a lot of pressure. How do you have time to get promotions while focusing on a family, working 12, 15-hour shifts every day? It just gets depressing and pointless over time, especially being with the cost of living that doesn't help. Cost of living goes up every year and the job wages aren't going up. So these NEETs are like, what's the point of working if I can't have my own shit? I still have to live at home because I don't make 3 times the rent to have my own decent apartment. I mean, I don't know how it works over there in Korea as far as the 3 times the rent bullshit, but that was the standard over here in America for years, but they kind of lightened up on it. Because as we all know, it's impossible for most people. I say it's impossible for 80% of the population to make 3 times the rent. Because less than 10% of people in America make over 6-figure salary a year with a job alone. So that's why everybody's doing rideshare service. You have lawyers that are doing rideshare services because they're not always going to get high profile cases. So
Of concern is that NEET numbers rose for those in their late 20s, especially among men who have to take time off from finding work to complete their mandatory military service. On the other hand, women often move into part-time positions sooner than males. Overall, South Korea's NEET population did fall modestly in 2024 due to fewer young people, but the share of college-educated NEETs has risen over 10% since 2018, while the share of high school graduate NEETs declined in the same period.
that's weird. So the age range of these needs, they're looking at the ages between 15 and 19, but I wouldn't start it at 15 because that's too young. You're just starting your personality in high school. You pretty much don't get your personality development until you're in high school, you know? So until that tail end, until graduation, you might go out to the army, you might go study abroad in another country, and it's pretty common. So it's like, okay, most people aren't going to have their dream job or even have a good job to begin with after school to begin with. So that's another thing to look at. And it seems like the most successful people are the ones that weren't really that popular in high school to begin with. Let's say you were the quiet kid in class. Well, you were just a mystery. But then 15 years later, you're doing better than most of the people you graduated school with. So whoever had all the girls or whoever played the sports and was just very popular, the life of the party, a lot of times they're washed up before they even hit 30. So you go to your high school reunion 20 years later, most of the people that you went to school with done hit the wall, look like shit, fat, bloated, just real aged from doing all the partying, the drugs, the alcohol and all that, the smoking. Yeah, it catches up to you. It ages you quick. And that's the reason why I still look like a teenager, because I didn't indulge heavy in all the smoking and drinking. Was I around people that did that? Yes, but my energy was spent towards other things like car culture and everything. That was more my thing. I wasn't into the drugs and everything. But anyway,
Of the different classifications of NEETs by KEIS, those in the non-seeking category have increased the most, which may translate into long-term unemployment down the line.
and see, as far as developing a professional career, if you're going to be in the corporate sector, a lot of times, if you don't start the corporate sector around the time you're 30, you're pretty much cooked. So there's a lot of age discrimination going on around in the work culture too, not just in America, but just around the world. So once you reach a certain age, people aren't even going to give you time of the day. And see, and for instead of the women just laying around not doing nothing, you notice this video, they're more focused on men. Because see, women, they could just do sex work and be fine with that until there's no happy ending in that. That's the thing though. So all the girls that are getting into the adult industry and doing sex work and all that, that has a short lifespan like a professional ball player. Like once you get about 30, 35, things are going to slow down real quick. So
The report then called for public policies targeting youth and to help those at risk of long-term disconnection. KEIS also stressed that helping non-seeking needs require more than mere motivation and emphasized the role of customized support to meet the needs of individuals.
wow. Well, I'll say this. Well, with these people staying at home, so basically what we were looking at is couch potatoes. So these people you see sitting at home are couch potatoes, or should I say bed potatoes? Because they either have a remote control in their hand, or they have a phone in their hand. A distraction from the world. So you're all closed, you're basically sheltered in. You might peep the news every now and then, but it's like, okay, how long do you do this? So whatever situation you are in as a young person, more than likely it's not going to be your whole life. So whatever job you're in, it's like you have to tell yourself that everything that you have going on currently today is temporary. And where do you go from there? A good example, let's say you did move out of your parents' house. You live with 3 or 4 roommates. How long do you have to do that shit for? Because once you reach almost 40, you're not going to want no roommates. You're probably going to want a spouse or just live alone. And that's the end of that. I hope you learned something from this, but more than likely this is going to be on the rise because people are basically saying these jobs are pointless because it doesn't pay a living wage. You shouldn't have to work 3 or 4 jobs just to live a minimalist lifestyle. So just 15 years ago, a job in an $800 apartment was cool. You had a decent car, but now that same apartment is almost triple the rent. And that's why everybody's like, fuck these jobs. It's a waste of time. And we're not going to talk about home ownership. That'll be a different one. This is Kai LaVale. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next segment. Peace.